back in the end zone. So 15-yard penalty puts them up to the 32-yard line. So 1st and 10 Cats. There's a penalty on Abingdon that's really going to hurt them on this drive. They had the Cats after the fumble at the 10-yard line.
You got 2:48 left. You score before the half, punch it in. You got a little bit of smiles in the locker room.
Yeah, 13-7 Abingdon leading as the Cats trying to go on a drive. 2:36 on the clock. Trips to the right. Snap. Lathrop rolling to the right, looking downfield. Now he's just going to take off on his own, and he gets 2 yards on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Now you got to get into tempo if you're the Cats. You only have 1 timeout left, and you're trailing by 6 points before half.
And, we haven't had the chance to see a big play by this offense in 4 drives. And this would be just the time for it.
So far, coverage has been really well. We saw Bobby Medley with the 1 catch earlier, Lane Carroll with a catch, but other than 2 receptions, not a lot completed by Lathrop as he hadn't been able to uncork anything yet. He's been under pressure, like you said, as well. Trips to the left. They also got a wide receiver in the slot. Carroll by himself to the right side. They're going to do a quick screen here. This is Michael Bradley. Gets close to 3 or 4 before he's brought down out of bounds. Bring up a 3rd down and
maybe
6.
6, yeah.
Line to gain will be the 42-yard line. For the 3rd down from the 30. It's on the left hash from the 36. So got to get it to the 42.
Ball is at the Bearcat 36-yard line.
1:44 to go as it went out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Another trip set, this time to the right side. Carroll, the lone receiver, to the left. Snap, Lathrop rolling around. They're spying him, so he has nowhere to throw. Now he's going to try to go downfield, nearly intercepted. As a couple of defenders down there. Carroll, or Medley, or Bradley, actually the intended receiver. Actually, that's Carroll up there up top, so it's Carroll was the intended receiver. Punt team coming out onto the field for the Cats. 1:35 to go. It's 4th down and 6.
Putting a lot of pressure on your defense for this stop. Abingdon gets the ball at the half. Got to stop here. It helps you a little bit.
Good boot from Carroll as it hits inside the 30 and takes a bounce. It drops off the hands, but he gets it right at the 20. That bounced off his hands and off his shin. Falcons lucky to get back on that one. So the Falcons were on a drive there after a fumbled return, after just a muffed return for the Cats. Abingdon driving down the field, fumbled it at the 10-yard line. Virginia High went on a mini drive there, got a 15-yard penalty, got it up to the 30 and got a 1st down, but couldn't get much out of it, so they punt it. At the least here, they've taken a little bit of the air out of this Falcon. They were really on a drive there before, and they had a lot of momentum, but that fumble really seemed to suck some of it out of the stadium. This time it's Jordan off to the left side.
And nobody.
He's got nothing but space past the 40 to the 45. He makes a man miss to the 45 on the other side. A big gain. Pierre Jordan. Bobby Medley able to run him down, but lots of green for Jordan tonight as he's running. 38-yard gain there for Pierre Jordan as he gets it across the 50 to the 42-yard line. 1:15 and counting. As now Abingdon's going to speed up the tempo just a bit. Motion, going to run it off to the left side with a power run. They're going to stop him close to 3 or 4 there on the carry.
No timeout either yet.
And Abingdon has all 3 timeouts. They're not going to use one yet. I don't know why you don't use it right now. 55 seconds. Virginia High has 1 timeout left if they want to try to regroup on defense. 47 seconds. Still haven't snapped the ball. 2nd down and 6, balls on the 38-yard line. There's a snap. They're going to try to pass here.
Hey,
Horton. Rushing play.
Holding on the outside there. Yeah. Terrible. This got right in his jersey.
So there is a flag down on the play. He got 5 or 6 there on the catch.
Jerked him around by the inside of his shirt.
It'll go down as a rush play. Of course, it was a lateral. They marked him right at the 38-yard line. So it was a gain of 4. But again, there is the penalty on the field, the flag down. So we'll wait on that and see what the penalty was.
I think you got to realize right now, if you're Coach Chris, you got to take the yards
34 seconds to go until half. Yeah, at this point, the down's irrelevant.
I don't know what is Abingdon's coach across the hashes for.
Yeah, he's going all the way out to midfield. Don't know. He's calling a timeout right now as well.
Why would you call a timeout in that situation? What a waste of what a waste of it.
So they called a holding. Yeah. And they moved him back 10 yards, all the way back to the 48-yard line. So goes against the Falcons. That's a big penalty there for Abingdon. They call their first timeout of the first half, and really a big penalty, but even bigger for this team. This is not a 2-minute offense.
No.
Even though they have shown a capability of being able to bust some plays, and they have all season been able to get some big plays on the counter and on some power runs. But right here, this is a tough thing for Abingdon to decide. Of course, you're already at the 50 now, so it's not like it's a hard decision. But the way they started that drive with the big play by Jordan, had they not gotten a big play in the first couple of plays, I think we've seen them.
We see him take a knee and take it to the locker room. But
the way this offense is, you almost are shooting yourself in the foot when you're not taking a knee. When you are taking a knee, because you got playmakers like Pierre Jordan and these guys who are just.
I'll be honest with you, Dylan. I mean, you can say they have playmakers, but the only offense they've really had tonight is Pierre Jordan. You take him out of the equation.
Holloway's had several good runs, bruising back.
I mean, maybe an average of 3 or 4 yards on a carry, but what's the difference between him and Pierre Jordan, you know?
Pierre Jordan, just a lightning rod so far in this first
just
half.
A static shock to that offense.
34.9 seconds. One timeout left for the Cats.
What's
two
the holding
for
call?
Abingdon.
Put it back at the 40.
So they moved it. So they got the down marker all the way back at the 48, but now they're going to reset it back.
It looks like he declined the
40
penalty.
Two wide receivers to the left, wing back to the left side. There's a snap. This time it's a pass play. Booth dropping back, looking downfield on the wheel route. Intercepted. Torian Bazell intercepts it right at the 15-yard line. Booth hung it up there trying to get a receiver to come back and get under it, and it's intercepted. Big turnover, back-to-back drives for Abingdon, ending in a turnover. They had a fumble, and this time the interception. Bazell, that's his second interception of the season.
You know, and Bazell literally just stared at that ball like it was an atom ball, hit him right at baseball, in baseball terminology there.
Yeah. If he wasn't paying attention, that ball would have knocked him down probably. It almost threw it right to him. He made a good effort, though, getting to the football. 28 seconds to go. Bearcats have one timeout left. Let's see what they do with it as Coach Christ.
First true pass attempt of the night for Abingdon, which goes as an interception.
Two wide receivers to the left, two to the right. Lathrop looking for a sign from the sideline. There's 11 seconds on the play clock. They're going to roll out. They're going to try to pass here. Throw it underneath the Carroll. He gets the first down and is able to get out of bounds. 22 seconds. Got 11 yards on the catch. Ball was sitting on the 15. Now he's up to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Cats, and he got out of bounds, stopped the clock. So staying aggressive here after the pick. I don't blame him. I think you got to push a couple of buttons here.
I mean, if you trust Lane Carroll like you say you do, you just hope you get to the 40.
A lot to go, though, till you get there. Got to get almost 35 yards to get there. 22 seconds to go. There's the snap. Lathrop rolling off to the right side. He's going to throw down to the corner. Incomplete. Austin Davidson was juggling as he went out of bounds. And that was a good angle there for us to see it. And you could tell Davidson didn't quite have his feet down and the catch made. So 16 seconds to go. The pass is incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. Ball sitting on the 25-yard line. They've got to get it to the 35 for the first. Again, just one timeout left for the Cats. They trail 13-7. And we thank you for tuning in to the game here on Bearcat Radio. Going to line up with 3 wide receivers down to the right in a trips formation, 1 to the left, and a man in a slot. That's Bobby Medley. Trying to get a mismatch, hopefully, with Medley there as on the linebacker. Abingdon's not got enough guys over here. They've got 3 on the left side with the 4 wide receivers. There's a snap. Lathrop looking downfield. Now he's just going to take off. He looks for a block on the edge and gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 1st down with 8.5 seconds to go.
You got time for one more before the deep shot?
I think you got to look for a deep post here. Try to get it inside the 40. You got to throw it deep post. Timeout.
Don't have any timeouts left.
You have one timeout left, the Bearcats do.
Oh, I forgot Abingdon burned that last one.
And Coach Chris is going to call the timeout right now. So, I don't know. I think you got to keep the timeout just in case you get a big play here.
Yeah.
Of course, the clock stops on the first down. So you got a little bit of time to spike it if you do get a big play, but you only got 8 seconds. So
but even then, they're going to wave the clock, and you're going to have 2 seconds run off. So got to be careful in that regard, I think.
Yeah, but by the time you get if you get a big play, it's got to. I mean, either way, you're looking.
I think it's got to be the shot right here.
Time crunch here.
Yeah.
So. And again, you don't want a big mistake. Worst thing happens, you don't score. Down just by 6 points, 13-7. And that might loom large, the missed extra point for Abingdon. But first, it'll be the second time this year if the Cats can't score here that they'll be trailing going into half. And they're 0-1 already when they trail going into half, so we'll see how that affects them as
play resumes,
see what they decide to do here. 8 seconds to go. 13-7 the score as we near half. Abingdon out in front. Trips to the right. Medley in the slot to the right with Carroll out wide to the left. There's a snap. They're looking deep over the middle, and this one is picked off. Returnable, watch out as he gets it.
Stopped.
There they stop the clock at 0.7 of a second. It's intercepted by Lance Willis. There in that Falcon defensive backfield. He has an interception on the year, so that's his second. He actually returned the first one for a touchdown against Battle, a 33-yard interception return in that Week 1 win for him. But he gets the INT there, and that'll basically do the first half. We'll see what Virginia High decides to do, or see what Abingdon decides to do.
Right here, I would play about 3 30-yard deep safeties in this regard, just in case they decide to get a little happy with it.
We'll see what Abingdon tries to do there. Looks like they're going to dial up something. Gabe Booth's going to go under center. They may just snap it and kneel it, but we'll see. Puts a man in motion. They're going to hand it straight up the middle. Dante Harris meets him right there.
Big Dante
no gain there from Holloway as he tried to keep it up the middle. Austin Holloway, and that'll do it for the first half of football. Penalty riddled and turnover riddled first half of football, but all in all, a close ball game. 13-7. Virginia High trails it as we head into the intermission. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll have Lane Carroll on here from Sports Chat last week. We're going to put that on here for the next 7 minutes or so, and then we'll be back with the halftime stats and some scores from around the Southwest District, so make sure you stay tuned. Here's Lane Carroll from last week's Sports Chat from Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, at the half, 13-7, Abingdon leading at Abingdon High School. Lane, you've only been playing for 1 season in varsity, yet it seems like you've played all your life. What drove you to play this season, and did you expect to be as successful as you have been?
The main reason I decided to play this year was because mainly the brotherhood that we have on the team. My sophomore year, all my best friends I've made in high school was through the football team, so I decided to play this year because of that, and I was hoping to get a little bit of playing time, and it just happened the fact that I started all the games this year, and I didn't expect to do as good as I did, but I just try hard at everything I do, and I guess it's turning out well for me.
I was going to say, looking at the stat book right here, 10 receptions, 183 yards, so 18.3 yards a reception. 1 touchdown reception on the year. You fell off a little bit. You were averaging 23 yards a reception. We were talking about that.
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, Bobby, he stole the show, but he got us wins. So
you hear that,
I'm
Jamie? Start throwing it to this guy.
Hey, it gets us wins. No matter who catches it, it gets us wins.
So you get to live a pretty exciting life. You get to kick your field goals, and you get to run some pretty deep routes and catch the ball a little bit. Which part of the game excites you more in that regard?
It's hard to tell because I know getting 3 points for the team and getting the chance to get 50 yards and even 6 points for the team, it honestly balances out. I like doing it both, but whenever I catch a long deep ball, hearing all the fans scream and stuff, it's a great feeling. Even when I kick field goals too, I hear people. I hear my dad. He yells louder than all the rest of them.
We need to get him up in the booth then.
You should, yeah, you should hear us. Yeah, I'm definitely screaming.
Yeah, Mark is the yeller of the group, and it really goes hand in hand with that Wise Central game. Lane made a huge catch, a 40 or 50 yard reception. couple of plays later, he's kicking a field goal from like 35 yards out and nailing it.